Imagine a world where being too good at seemingly innocent everyday skills sparks suspicion. These aren't superhuman abilities, just regular tasks that, when done with a little too much finesse, start raising eyebrows. Episode 1. The Walking GPS Character. Sarah. Sarah had an incredible sense of direction. No matter where she was, she could find her way around without ever needing a map. Even in places she had never been before, Sarah could navigate effortlessly. It seemed useful at first, but soon people began to wonder. How does she always know where she's going? What is she involved in that she needs such a strong sense of direction? They joked that she had military training or worse. Episode 2. The Improviser Character. Ben could fix almost anything with whatever was lying around. Whether it was a broken chair, a malfunctioning car, or even an electronic device, Ben could somehow make it work with everyday items. His friends found it handy, but as his improvisations grew more complex, they started to wonder how he learned these skills. "Where do you learn to fix everything with random objects?" one friend asked, only half joking. It didn't take long for people to start looking at Ben like he had a hidden life as a master of less-than-legal activities. Episode 3. The Linguist Character. Claire had a love for languages. She picked them up quickly and could fluently converse in multiple languages within months of learning them. It was something she was proud of, but when she began speaking fluently with people in languages she'd never openly studied, suspicions began to grow. How does she know so many languages? People wondered. What is she hiding? They began to suspect Claire of being more than just a language enthusiast. Maybe she was involved in secretive international affairs. Episode 4. The Memory Master Character. Leo's memory was impeccable. He could recall conversations from months ago, down to the exact details of what someone was wearing. His friends initially thought it was impressive, but soon enough, it became unsettling. How could someone remember so much, so clearly? They started to avoid talking about personal matters around Leo, fearing that their every word was being cataloged and stored. "You don't forget anything," one of his friends said nervously. "It's like you're recording us." Episode 5. The Natural Locksmith Character. Sam was always the go-to person when someone locked themselves out of their house or car. It started innocently. Sam simply knew how locks worked. But when people noticed how easily and quickly Sam could open a lock, even without tools, questions arose. How does she know this? Where did she learn it? Soon her friends were reluctant to ask for help, worried that Sam's skills were less about problem-solving and more about a shady past they didn't know about. Episode 6. The Silent Mover Character. Nate has an unusual talent. He moves incredibly quietly. So quietly, in fact, that people don't even notice him in a room until he's right next to them. His stealth skills were the subject of amusement at first, but after too many "how do you keep sneaking up on me" comments, people began to wonder. Did Nate have a background in something more suspicious than just being light on his feet? His habit of suddenly appearing in rooms made people question his past. "No one can move that quietly unless they've had training," they whispered. Episode 7. The Fast Foodie Character. Tyler's cooking skills were legendary. He could whip up a gourmet meal in the time it took most people to toast bread. He insisted it was just about good time management and years of watching cooking shows. But when he started preparing elaborate meals in record time at dinner parties, people started whispering. How can someone cook like that so quickly? They wondered. Was he really that good? Or had he picked up some tricks from a more questionable past? Some suggested he might have once worked in environments where cooking in a hurry had higher stakes than feeding a hungry family. Episode 8. The Human Lie Detector Character. Mia never asked to be able to read people's body language so well. She just had a knack for knowing when someone was lying. It started as a harmless party trick, picking out who was bluffing during card games or calling someone out when their stories didn't quite add up. But soon, her friends realized that Mia could tell even the smallest of fibs. They joked that she was a walking polygraph, but soon they started avoiding her, nervous that their smallest secrets weren't safe. Some even suspected she had more nefarious training, leading to a few awkward conversations about whether she had been watching people for longer than she let on. Episode 9. The Cleaner Character. Alex's love for organization and cleaning started out innocently enough. He was the friend who could always make a mess disappear in seconds. After every party, he was the first to offer to help tidy up. But when one of his friends remarked how spotless everything became after Alex had been around for just 5 minutes, it got them thinking, how was he so efficient? Then someone jokingly asked if he had learned his skills while cleaning up more than just parties. People laughed, but there was an undercurrent of unease. Was Alex covering up something more than spilled drinks and pizza crumbs? Episode 10. The Perfect Stretcher Character. Jamie has always been a bit too good at stretching. So much so that in her early 20s, she began joining yoga classes just to avoid attention. However, the ease with which she could fold her body into impossible positions made her the subject of whispers. Was she just naturally flexible, or did she have some training no one knew about? After a few too many suspicious glances, Jamie started acting like her stretches took more effort, faking stiffness to appear normal. But it was too late. Rumors started to spread that she must be involved in something far more underground than yoga. Episode 12. The Car Whisperer. One afternoon, at a new job, Liz's coworker locked her keys in her car. Within minutes, Liz was able to open the door without breaking a sweat. No one thought much of it except the security guard, who found the speed of her success unnerving. What no one knew was that Liz had learned a trick from her past, something she picked up as a teenager. But after opening that particular car, Liz begins noticing strange occurrences. She starts to hear whispers when she passes parked cars, and each vehicle seems to call out to her as though they're hiding something. Episode 12. The Car Whisperer. One afternoon, at a new job, Liz's coworker locked her keys in her car. Within minutes, Liz was able to open the door without breaking a sweat. No one thought much of it except the security guard, who found the speed of her success unnerving. What no one knew was that Liz had learned a trick from her past, something she picked up as a teenager. But after opening that particular car, Liz begins noticing strange occurrences. She starts to hear whispers when she passes parked cars, and each vehicle seems to call out to her, as though they're hiding something. Episode 13. The Ghost in the Warehouse. Jason, a regular guy with an unusual knack for moving through tight spaces, has always been the go-to guy whenever his friends hung out at their hoarder friend's cluttered warehouse. He could glide through the mounds of junk without making a sound. One night, while navigating the labyrinth of items, Jason discovers a hidden door behind a wall of old electronics. The door leads to a room filled with strange artifacts, each one connected to a missing person. As he touches one of the objects, he hears a whisper, "Come find us." Episode 14. The Blood Surgeon. Dr. Claire has always been at ease with blood and surgery. As a veterinarian, she often finds herself elbow-deep in the guts of various animals without blinking an eye. But her comfort with gore isn't just professional. It's almost unsettling. One day, after a particularly gruesome surgery, Claire notices a strange symbol marked in blood on the floor, a pattern she's never seen before. When she tries to clean it, the blood refuses to wipe away. As more symbols appear after every surgery, Claire realizes they aren't random. They're messages.